Hello, everyone. This is Zayami Eccles-Irwin from FilmFestivalCircuit.com and the Assistant Director of the Portland Comedy Film Festival. We are gearing up for our Spring 2023 session, which is going to be on May 21st at the beautiful, historic Clinton Street Theater. And today I'm talking with one of our participating screenwriters, Jenny Goloboy, who is the author of Obviously Aliens. Jenny, thank you so much for talking with me today.
Well, thanks so much for having me here.
Before we get started, I want to point out I think you have some very, very fantastic merchandise there for obviously aliens. If you want to stand up
Oh yeah,
and
so
show the
here's
shirt,
my shirt, uh,
awesome.
illustrating the book cover, and here's the book my screenplay was based on, which was published by Queen of Swords Press. So yeah,
Excellent. Tell us, for screenplays, I like to do this. Can you give us a brief synopsis of what this is about?
sure. So basically, it's a story about a commercial artist and a semi-retired thief who have to work together to save a bunch of aliens who are headed towards Earth.
Okay, that
It's
is that is a great premise. It piques my interest. What inspired you to write a unique story like that?
honestly, the story, it's one of those things, the premise comes to you and it just takes off on its own. And I ended up writing as a novel. It started as a novella, turned into a novel because I was just having so much fun building this world and all the crazy characters who
Totally.
live in it.
That's fantastic. So you had the novel, started from a novella, you had so much fun that you wanted to expand it, and it started from this premise, this great idea. How did you decide to turn it into a screenplay?
Well, I had published the novel and I started thinking, I bet this would work as a pilot for maybe an animated series,
Totally.
maybe some kind of, fun TV series. The best way to test that out is to write it myself, so I did, and, it's, going to started submitting it around and, so it just I've just started submitting it around, but it's going to be at the Portland Comedy Film Festival as a finalist already, so I'm very excited about that.
Heck yeah. Well, that's excellent. I'm kind of interested in the process of translating a novel to a screenplay. What is that like? Are there any difficulties that you encountered with that?
The interesting thing is I had to move, the antagonists into the story a lot earlier
Oh, okay.
than I did in the novel. The novel, you can spend a lot more time getting to know the protagonist and, the situation she's in, and sort of beginning to open up the world, and in a screenplay, you want things to happen faster, you have to know what she's fighting against, maybe not the final big boss, but, one of the other, the
Totally.
first thing that she's gonna bump her head against.
Well, that's some great insight for the film format, moving these kind of pivotal, establishing things a little bit
Mhm,
earlier on, getting that ball rolling. On
mhm.
that note, I'm curious if you gained any other insights or learned anything through the process of writing the screenplay.
It's the other thing that's really challenging is everything has to be external, right? You can't just have your poor actor staring off into space and thinking
Mm,
things. So, what it ended up there's I added a lot more dialogue and a lot more sort of characters being defined by bouncing against each other rather than seeing them from within, which is fun to do. I was able to do a whole new thing, where, my heroine Dana, the commercial artist, talks about what her day job looks like, and it was super fun to write. It was fun, I had her working for a Franklin Mint type place, and
okay,
it's those, the sort of art you find in a Hallmark store. I had so much fun making fun of that kind of thing,
I
so
love that.
thank you.
It kind of brings me to another question. This is a bit speculative on my part, but I imagine you wrote this novel and you had a tone in mind. You have pictures of the characters in your head. You kind of have the atmosphere. I'm wondering, were you able to translate that one to one when you turn into a screenplay, or are there differences that happen in just that overall feel?
That's a good question. I felt like, um, you know, the way it ended up in the page is pretty much the way it was in my head.
Okay.
However, if I'm not a director, and I realize if anyone someday hopefully decides to make this thing, it's not going to look a thing like what was inside my
Right.
head, and that's okay. It's a different medium. Um, one of the fun things as I was writing it, though, is thinking, "Gee, this would really work well if it were animated." The thing with writing a novel is you can do ludicrously big budget things. I
Right.
mean, you can have all kinds of settings. I had a scene at the Grand Canyon on the rim. I had, just a scene in Vegas, uh, and you don't have to worry, how expensive would it be to
Right.
stage something like
Renting the
how
strip.
many
Yeah.
what would it be like filming here? Um, but you can do that sort of crazy stuff more easily. Oh, I don't know. In my novel, you don't meet her in the beginning part of the novel, but there is a talking dog.
Nice.
Very hard to do
Yeah.
in live action without some special effects there. But I mean, it's just really hard to find a dog who talks well. But
Right.
animation, hey, that'd be fantastic.
Absolutely, and it seems like in the current landscape of animation,
Hmm.
we're accustomed to multiple types. There's
Yeah.
adult-oriented,
Hmm.
serious animations, there's adult-oriented comedies.
Hmm.
There's all these different forms, so I feel like it is a great medium to explore for serious work,
Oh yeah,
and, it's not just Saturday morning cartoons, there's a lot.
exactly.
I mean, I think that's a great option. I'm kinda interested, what else are you working on? Do you have more episodes of this planned? Are you, working on getting this filmed?
Mhm. Well, I'm not really sending it out until the strike is over, but,
Absolutely.
at some, point, I would love to find someone interested in making this. The goal is at some point to sell at least the film rights to this novel, if not this specific, screenplay. To that end, I'd be interested in writing more episodes. I definitely have some ideas of where things would go. Beyond that, I'm working on a novel about which is sort of a big fantasy world thing, and we'll see how that goes too.
Excellent. Well, that's very exciting. You have a lot on your plate. Is there anything else you'd like to add about obviously aliens?
Gosh, what else would I like to add? No, I'm just really looking forward to coming out to Portland in a few weeks and meeting everybody. I went to the Winter Portland Comedy Film Festival,
Okay.
had a fantastic time.
Yeah.
Really excited to go back. Absolutely loved the theater, loved the experience. So,
Right.
yeah, if you see me there, come say hello.
Absolutely. Well, I definitely will, and I'm looking forward to it. Thank you so much for talking with me. May
Mhm.
21st at the Clinton Street Theater, Portland Comedy Film Festival. It's going to be a great time, and I can't wait to see you then.
Thank you.
Have a great one.